F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali has said that he wants to ditch practice sessions. Am I surprised? Yes and no. Let's start with no. No, I'm not surprised because he's doing his job. He's doing what he's employed to do, which is grow the sport of F1 and therefore make it more profitable for Liberty Media to be involved in. I imagine that's what he is assessed on. That's how he gets pay rises. The better he does for the sport, the better he does for himself, I imagine. So obviously he's incentivized to try and make more money for Liberty Media and for F1, and it just makes sense that way, because scrapping practice sessions for a more competitive session, competitive value means monetary value, which means everyone's happy in that respect. In the money area, Stefano's happy, F1 are happy, Liberty are happy, FIA are probably happy too. So yes, it makes sense to me from that point of view. No, it doesn't make sense to me from the point of view of, and this is a lot of things about Stefano don't make sense to me from this point of view, is when he was coming in, I saw it as that it was going to be refreshing to have someone who was in the sport as a team principal at a top team and understood the ins and outs of Formula One and understood why the teams race, why hardcore fans watch. And look, obviously he does understand that, but what I mean is I thought we'd see him act with that knowledge a little bit more than he has, because it seems like all he cares about is the money, which I thought wasn't going to be the case. I remember thinking when Chase Carey came in and took over from Bernie that he would be the guy who really tried to change things in the sport and really tried to push things towards the money side, because he hadn't been involved in Formula One. But it seems to be that he didn't change too much, and now Stefano's come along and sprint races have come in. I know Ross Brawn was working on that for a while, but Stefano was in when the change happened. Sprint races have come in, and now he's talking about wanting to ditch practice sessions. And it makes sense. I suppose he's just doing his job, right? When he was a team principal, that was his job. And now he's the CEO of F1, and his job is make money, grow the sport. And the way to make money and grow the sport for the casual fan is stop having sessions that don't mean anything. And unfortunately, for people like me and you, if you're watching this video, the hardcore opinion doesn't come into it, because we are going to watch it no matter what. We're going to watch it. I can tell you now, if there was no qualifying and no race and there was 3 days of practice sessions, let's say testing, I would watch it. And I'd watch it every weekend probably. So it doesn't make a difference what F1 does. They know that the hardcore fan are going to stick it out and watch. They could do 6 qualifying sessions and 3 races in a weekend, and most of us would stick around to watch it. And they know that. And what they also know is the money, or the potential for growth, let's say, is where the casual fan is. And how do you engage the casual fan? With entertaining, competitive sessions, which, let's be honest, practice is not that. And there is definitely going to be a change. At the latest I could see it happen is 2026 with the format of a weekend. I can see minimum, maybe, I saw a quote from him that he wants 1 free practice session on a Friday morning, and then it's into competitive running for the rest of the weekend. And I don't know, can I see 1 session happening? I could see maybe 2 practice sessions happening. And I don't know what they'd replace it with, unless every single weekend becomes a sprint weekend, which I don't think any of us want. There's probably someone who wants it. There probably is. But, so no, it's not surprising. Is it good for the sport? I don't know. Engineers won't be happy. Casual fans will be happy. I personally would be very sad to see practice go. I really enjoy practice. I love an F1 Friday where you can tune in and it doesn't have to be intense. And if you like the commentators that are on, it's kind of like listening to a Formula One podcast, you know, because they're not restricted to talking about what's going on track, because what's going on track isn't necessarily essential or the most exciting thing. It doesn't need to be covered, so they can talk, and it can be on in the background, and they can tune in when they need to. And I love how relaxed it is, and you just get to spend time watching F1 without having to be incredibly engaged, of course, which for me, if I could put a rule in place, it would say format stays exactly the same as a standard weekend right now. FP1, FP2 on Friday, FP3 qualifying on Saturday, and a race on Sunday. But that is just me being stuck in my ways. Things are going to change. I understand it too. To grow, you have to evolve. And I get it. I get it from Stefano, and I get it from Liberty. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I imagine what they're pushing for is a sprint weekend every weekend is what their long-term goal is. I wouldn't like to see it. It's probably going to happen. Let me know what you think below. Nice one for watching. See you next time.